Hi, what's up guys? Welcome to Chewable Math. My name is Chandra and I'm so excited to share this lesson with you. In this video, we're going to continue the topic of the trapezoidal rule where we will redo the last example with the Casio FX9860 GII. Stay tuned for more and I will see you guys right after this. Okay, let's redo the last example that we did in the first part of this topic. Approximate the integral 0 to 1 of sine squared x dx using the trapezoidal rule with n equals 4 to 3 decimal places. First, we know that the subdivision is 4, so we can imagine there's a stack of trapezoids that consists of 4 trapezoids. Second, we know that the intervals are 0 to 1, so we can find the height, which is 1 minus 0 divided by 4, and it's 0.25. Since we have the heights now, we can hypothetically find the other points between 0 and 1. But I don't need to count these numbers because we'll just use the calculator for that. Now imagine if we have all the points, we can substitute these points to the function to find the basis. And finally, the area is going to be h over 2 times the sum of a, 2b, 2c, 2d, and e. If you feel unfamiliar with the things that I was talking about, you could watch the first part of this topic by clicking the card on the screen. In this topic, there are 3 major tools that we're going to use. The first is the table mode, where we will generate all the points that we need. The second is the stat mode. We're not going to use the statistical tools though, we will just use the list and modify them. And finally, the third is the run mode or the computation mode, where we will access the list and count the area. Alright, I'm going to explain a little bit further into the details so things that we will do later make sense to you. First, in the table mode, we will automatically generate the basis. And then we're going to save those numbers into 2 sets, which is list 1 and list 2. We will modify the data so that list 1 will consist of A and E, while list 2 will consist of B, C, and D. In the run mode, we will count the sum of those lists and save them to a variable A and B. After that, we could easily count the area by adding A with twice of B and multiply that with the height over 2, which is basically the formula of the trapezoidal rule. Okay, I hope you get the gist of what we're going to do. Now let's get into the action. First, go to table mode by pressing menu and select 7. Type in the function, which is square root of sine x. You can also follow the key sequence on the right if you want. Now let's set up the intervals and the heights. Type in 0 for the lower boundary and then press enter. Type in 1 for the upper boundary and then press enter. And last, type in 0.25 for the steps and then press enter twice. Now show the table of this function by pressing F6. We're only interested with the y values actually, so make sure that your cursor is on the right side by navigating to the right. Press Option, then F1, and it will ask us about which list do we want to save the values in. Let's just select list 1. Repeat this one more time and save to list 2. Now go to stat mode by pressing menu and select 2. Let's edit the data in list 1 so that it only contains the first and the last data. And edit the data in list 2 so that it doesn't contain the first and the last data. Now let's access them in the run mode, so press menu and select 1. Before we count the sum, I want to tell you that we could access the lists that we just made in the stat mode by pressing the sequence on the right. Now let's find the sum, but take it easy. It's quite a lot of buttons to press. First, press this sequence to find the sum. Now, since we want to count the sum of list 1, press the previous sequence to type in list 1. Now that we have the sum of list 1, let's save that to the variable a. Let's do this one more time to find the sum of list 2. And then this time save the sum value to the variable b. So now the variable a contains the edge bases while the variable b contains the coinciding bases. Remember that we need to count those coinciding bases twice, right? So let's find the sum of the bases by counting a plus 2b. Finally, since the height is 1/4, that means half of that is 1/8. So let's multiply the sum by 1/8. There you go! You get the area without even touching the pen, unlike what we did with the previous calculator. So if you like this video, give it a thumb. Please write some comments if you have any thoughts about it, and don't forget to share with the others. I will see you guys on another Chewable videos. Until then, take care.